What's up everybody, it's Robin Gaming here. So we gotta start talking about the multiplayer in Uncharted 4 Thieves, and to me at least the big aspect of the game where I know I'll be playing the multiplayer for a very long time, you know, for a good, I'd say hopefully the next year, right, with all the updates that it's still going to be having in the future. And you know, right now I'd say there's just a couple of complications I seem to be having. I have this kind of love-hate relationship with the Uncharted 4 multiplayer so far, because there are some things that are just done super well, but at the same time I also have some frustrations right now where I feel like Naughty Dog could just simply change certain things or add some stuff that would make it a whole lot better right now. And that's what I wanted to get into, is just share with you my experience so far playing Uncharted 4 multiplayer. So where do I start off with? You know, I feel once again there are some really good things there, right? I think the core mechanics, just the shooting feels great, climbing which is so fast, using your grappling hook all the time. It's all these things that make Uncharted stand so far apart from other multiplayer games out there, because it has that extra layer on top of it with the cool movement stuff and everything you can do, right? You know, Naughty Dog has of course decided to add a lot of stuff like mysticals and sidekicks and those power weapons that you can spawn in your hands, right? There's a lot of class customization and most of it is good, you know, most of it just doesn't really affect the game that much, I would say. For example, the mysticals have been, you know, very much, I'd say, decreased in power, I guess. They're really not as useful anymore. I myself have been using the Eldorado all the time and I feel like I'm barely getting kills with it anymore, so that's a good thing in my opinion, because yeah, I mean, the more it relies on core mechanics, the better it is personally to me, I would say. And that sort of stuff is just there, you know, to bring some more variety. As I said, class customization where you can just use your the weapon that you like, from the AK to the Meddler, and there's like 10 weapons in total I think you can choose from. There's these attachments now, for example, you can put a silencer on your gun. They're very expensive, but at the same time I'd say they are worth it sometimes, where for example if I use my silencer I won't show up on a map. That sort of stuff is really cool and it helps me a lot in the certain playstyle that I have. And yeah, we have the boosters, which once again, you know, it's just like they're not very overpowered in any way anymore like they were in Uncharted 3, you know, back in the days where I felt like those sort of crutches that the game has, you know, it really felt like they decided how the game would go, you know. If you had the best, you know, the best power, if you would get the power plays, you could really make that big comeback, you know, which wasn't deserved in any way because your team simply performed worse. That's not the case. The game is very skill based, really is about who can get the most kills with his guns, and that's a good thing. So in that way I'm really enjoying it, you know. I think it's a balanced and well made multiplayer that plays great, and overall there's very you know, few flaws to be found. The maps are also really cool. I think there's only 8, so it's not really that much, but at the same time the maps that are there I think are really fun. A lot of them take place in the jungle and these exotic locations that the single player of course offers, so all of that is good, you know. I'm not complaining about any of that. I think in general, you know, if you're looking for that great team-based third-person multiplayer, then Uncharted 4 offers pretty much everything that you want to have in a multiplayer mode. But that's pretty much what I want to get into right now, is that it's really about those choices, and Naughty Dog isn't really giving many players choices in the playstyle that they have to adapt to. Because this is my thing, right? Uncharted 4, more than ever, like Uncharted 2 and 3 weren't like this at all, but Uncharted 4 this time around is so team-based. It really relies on you sticking together with your team to pretty much win the game, right? If you're a solo player, it's very, very hard to perform well if you don't stick together with your team, because this is the thing, right? The game has a revive system, and what that means right now, what I've really experienced is that, yeah, me personally, I am that kind of guy who doesn't just like to play a team-based game mode, but also play a mode where I can just play by myself, enjoy the multiplayer, play solo, do well, and still have an impact on, you know, if I'm actually going to be winning. And in that way, Naughty Dog is not giving you many options, because the 3 modes that are there right now, Team Deathmatch, Plunder, and Command, you know, the new mode where you take over these zones, they are all very team-based. And with this revive system that you have, it means you constantly have to stick together with your team. And this is kind of the situation that I'm talking about right now. If I decide to leave my team behind and, you know, very much just go solo, and I come across these 2 people, and once again, because the game is so team-based, it means you're very rarely coming across people that are playing by themselves as well. You know, most of the time they'll be together with other players, and the maps are not really too big, so it's happening the whole time, right? And so if it means that I'm in this 1 versus 2 fight, I kill one guy, or at least I down him, right? So he gets in this state where he's downed and you first have to put some more bullets into him before he actually gets KO'd. Then the other person will most likely kill me, because the 2v1 fight is very easily lost this way. And then what happens is, because the guy downs me, he can actually revive the other guy, and basically there is no way I am winning most of these situations. You know, it is just very hard to play this game solo, and I think that is not really good, because so many other games really give you options in this. They give you several game modes where you can perform well also as a solo player. And I can already tell that people are going to be saying like, oh yeah, you're just a casual Call of Duty player who just likes to play by himself and stuff. No, you know, please don't start insulting people like that, because it makes no sense. People need to get the options to at least, you know, play the game mode that suits them, right? And I feel like right now, where is the free-for-all mode? Where is the classic mode that gets rid of all this stuff? It is super easy to implement a system like this, you know? Like, if you go to a private match right now in Uncharted 4 multiplayer and you set one up yourself, you can actually decide already to turn off the whole, you know, down system, the whole revive system that's in the game. And so it should be very easy for Naughty Dog to add, you know, a mode like this that goes, you know, back to the basics that Uncharted 2 and 3 kind of like implemented, right? Why not give people choices like that? Why not give them a game mode where the revive system is not in there? Where maybe, you know, the mysticals and the sidekicks and all those extra crutches don't have that big of an impact. Some players simply don't want to play with those kinds of things on. Just make a certain bare bones game mode. Why is there no free-for-all for people that just want to play solo? Why do I have to constantly play so team-based with other players? I'm not saying it's a bad thing. It's good that it's there, but also give people options to play in the playstyle that they want to use, right? And while we're talking about that, I'm just not a big fan of the sidekicks still. I still think right now they're just kind of like a nuisance, right? There's something that's on the, you know, on the maps that just feels like kind of like a barrier between you and your opponents. It's like, oh man, there's another brute again that I have to kill first before I can actually move on. Nobody really wants to focus on killing sidekicks. You just want to focus on killing your opponents and stuff. And therefore, yeah, I feel like the sidekicks are just kind of annoying. Luckily, I don't see them a lot. Doesn't seem like many people are really using them right now from what I've seen. So I think that's a good thing. And while we're talking about this stuff, giving people options, I mean, there is no level system right now, and I get that Naughty Dog wants to kind of be out of the box and not do these things that so many other multiplayer shooters do, right? But I just feel like, you know, people want to set themselves apart. They want to show that they are experienced in the multiplayer mode. And everything is now gradually unlocked, not through a level system, but by simply getting kills, which is good. But still, you know, why not just put a number next to your name that shows how much you've played this multiplayer? It is really that simple, you know, just let people show off that they've played the multiplayer a lot. That's what people like. It's like, you know, if I've put a year into this multiplayer, then I want to, you know, show other people that my rank right now is like 100, right, or something like that. It's just cool, and people want to see those kinds of things. It makes everything seem kind of worth it if you have some real progress that you're making. If you notice that, you know, me playing so much actually is paying off right now, because otherwise it doesn't really show that. So in general, these are kind of my thoughts right now, is that I feel like what is there is very good, is very well made, balanced, and overall I don't have that much to complain about, but I really want Naughty Dog to add these options, you know, give people an extra classic mode, give them a free-for-all mode, because they're really not that hard to implement. In private match you can already set up a classic mode by yourself that doesn't use the revive system, and yeah, the level system is kind of like, you know, just, it's not really that hard to implement. Why not do it? The Last of Us had it too. Yeah, you know, those are basically my thoughts about Uncharted 4 multiplayer so far, and I can already see that Naughty Dog is like gonna add, because that's what I saw in the plan that they had, is they're gonna add a new game mode in like a couple of months, and only one, and it's kind of like, you know, like put some effort into it, and why not give people more options, because 3 game modes on 8 maps, it's just not a lot of content right now, and there's no reason for you not to add such simple additions that could really easily be implemented. So those are kind of my thoughts. I'm definitely enjoying it. I just want to see more. That's all I'm saying. So with that being said, hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know your thoughts in the comments about Uncharted 4 multiplayer. And then for now, thanks a lot for watching. Hope to see you again next time.